Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. We'll chant Om once together. Synchronize the chanting of Om with your exhalation. Breathe in. Sahana vavatu, sahanau bhunaktu, sahaviryam karavavahai, tejasvinavaditamastu ma vitvishavahay. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Gently open your eyes. We'll chant from verses 11 to 15 of chapter 3. Devan bhavayatanena,
Devan bhavayatanena,
te deva bhavayantu vaha,
te deva bhavayantu vaha,
parasparam bhavayantaha,
parasparam bhavayantaha,
Shreya paramavapsyatha,
Shreya paramavapsyatha,
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha,
Ishtan bhogan hi vo devaha,
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha,
Dasyante yajna bhavitaha,
Taidattana pradayaibhyaha,
Taidattana pradayaibhyaha,
Yo bhungte stena eva saha,
Yo bhungte stena eva saha,
Yajna shishtashinah santaha,
Yajna shishtashinah santaha,
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi,
Muchyante sarva kilbishaihi,
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha,
Bhunjate te tvagam papaha,
Ye pachantyatmakaranat,
Ye pachantyatmakaranat,
Annad bhavanti bhutani,
Annad bhavanti bhutani,
Parjanyadanna sambhavah.
पर्जन्यादन्न सम्भवः
Yajñād bhavati parjanyah.
यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यः
Yajñah karma samudbhavah.
यज्ञः कर्मसमुद्भवः
Karma brahmodbhavam viddhi.
कर्म ब्रह्मोद्भवं विद्धि
Brahmakshara samudbhavam.
ब्रह्माक्षरसमुद्भवम्
Tasmat sarvagatam brahma.
तस्मात् सर्वगतं ब्रह्म
Nityam yajñe pratishthitam.
नित्यं यज्ञे प्रतिष्ठितम्
Hari Om, and a very good day to all of you. So in the last session, we were seeing how from the first step, which is converting your karma into yajna, he is so beautifully sliding into the second step, which is when you perform yajna, whatever the outcome is that we'll be seeing today, but that intermediate portion which connects these two steps, that is what is very interesting at the outset, where he just uses the word bhavati. So in the first step he said yajna karma samudbhavah. So samudbhavah. Now in the second step he just uses a very simple word bhavati. So when you get into karma and when you make the right choices, when you put in a lot of effort, you can convert your actions into yajna. Once you convert it into yajna, now the good result which the yajna karma will have, that will be very smooth. That is indicated by using a simple word like bhavati. So when you start putting in efforts in a particular direction in order to achieve something, in order to master something, it is in the initial stages that you will find it very difficult. But as you progress, you will find that whatever you thought was difficult earlier, now through practice has become quite easy. You will start easing into the process. Whenever you want to master any skill, you will have to put in a lot of effort initially. Whenever you want to achieve any goal, you will have to work hard. But as you progress, you will find the difficulty will start easing out and you will become more and more comfortable with the process. So when it requires you to put in a lot of effort, why is it so difficult? That is where that point about coming out of your comfort zone is very much applicable. You know, when we started this verse, initially when we talked about when we saw the backward analysis and all that, I was telling you the importance of not getting stuck in your comfort zone. So only when you come out of your comfort zone, you will be able to get into the state of karma. We saw all that. Now, that is again being re-emphasized here. That is, when you overcome your comfort zone and when you put in the right efforts in the right direction, however difficult it may be. See, this is the key. However difficult it may be, after a while, all those difficulties and hurdles will go away and your progress in the path will become very smooth. So, from samudbhavaha, sliding into the next step, bhavati. It's a simple word, bhavati. That is the main word here is bhava. So it is just a case ending. That's all. He has not added any prefix or suffix to qualify it, nothing. So the key there is in overcoming the comfort zone. Now many people have put down your points and many of you have given what you have absorbed about the coming out of the comfort zone. Now there is one subtle point which you need to note there. When we talk of coming out of the comfort zone, the application of that is varied. It's actually very deep. The transition from samudbhavaha to bhavati, it's not a transition. The transition is from the first step to the second step, but how it eases out, that's the message which we are getting. But for you to experience that in your life, you will have to overcome first your comfort zone and start putting in more efforts. So unless you understand that in a deep way and personalize it, you will not be able to practice that. So generally when we talk about comfort zone, what comes to a person's mind is overcoming qualities like laziness, or in this area I am very lazy, so let me come out of the comfort zone and act. I am just getting up very late, so let me now come out of that comfort zone. These are the standard examples which come to your mind, and these standard examples are also used to explain the principle. But actually coming out of the comfort zone is a very deep principle which can be applied in all areas. For a person who is in the state of tamas, tamas becomes the comfort zone. For a person who is stuck with rajas, rajas becomes the comfort zone. And for a person who is sattvic, now sattva becomes the comfort zone, because he has to move beyond all the gunas and reach to the infinite. So this is so relative, this is so dynamic, the application will keep varying. So don't restrict the application of this principle of comfort zone only to certain gross tamasic areas. Apply it to your entire personality. Actually, you should combine that point of coming out of the comfort zone and when we were seeing the samudbhavaha, the various dimensions of wood were given to you, and it was told to you that you should choose the bhav which will give you a lot of benefits, which will give you power, which will uplift you, which will expand your consciousness and also liberate you finally, give you the highest. So now you should combine that previous principle of comfort zone with this. Then the results which you will get will be tremendous. It will create a very powerful impact. So what do I mean by combining these two? Is this thought or is this bhavana uplifting me? When you are asking that, now if supposing let's say it's a negative bhavana, negative thought, for example anger. Now you are a very short-tempered person, you keep on getting angry. Now once you apply this principle of wood there, you will get that clarity. Oh, this is not beneficial to me. This anger is not beneficial to me. This is not going to give me power. Actually, it will weaken me emotionally. Is it going to uplift me? No. Definitely no question of expanding consciousness and liberation and all that. So now this has to be released. But what is preventing me from dropping it, from letting go of that? It is the comfort zone. You are so comfortable. The mind becomes very comfortable with anger over a period of time that it does not want to put in any effort to come out of that anger. See, whenever you go through some issue or a problem, after a while you get so acclimatized to that problem. You feel so comfortable with it. There are people who feel very uncomfortable with silence. For a yogi, silence means peace. But if you are not ready for that, if you are so acclimatized to disturbances, suddenly when things are silent now, you'll feel very uncomfortable. I've seen this. There are some people who have told me that we want to purchase a house in a very noisy area only. Otherwise, that's we feel very uncomfortable. Similarly, a person who keeps things in a very clumsy way. Now suddenly if you organize everything for him and show, he'll feel very uncomfortable. A person who is acclimatized to dirt will feel uncomfortable when he is exposed to cleanliness. So when it comes to not only this, anger is one example. Like this, you can take up many other examples. Let's say fear. A person is so used to being fearful. Now suddenly when you ask him or her to become courageous, that is very uncomfortable. That will throw the person off balance. So you have to put in that extra effort initially to come out of the comfort zone. Then only you will be able to practice the sadhana of wood, that is the samudbhava. So one point leads to the other, and when you combine these, now that is when you get the maximum benefits. So what you should do is, see, if you really want to practice the sadhana of wood, now if you have done the previous homework, if you're not done at that time, it's high time you do it. You should list down first the areas of your comfort zone. Again, don't focus only on tamas. That's why I gave you the example of anger. Let us say you're feeling very jealous. Now, you're so comfortable with that. Suddenly, when you're asked to generate the opposite thoughts, which is thinking about the benefit of others or of that person whom you're feeling very jealous about, now suddenly you'll find it very uncomfortable. If you have a lot of hatred towards someone, now suddenly if you're told, love that person, you will not at all feel comfortable. You see, whenever you develop a habit mechanically, to suddenly come out of that habit becomes extremely difficult for you. Supposing, let's say, you fight with someone. This is just an arbitrary example. Let us say the fault is yours only. You are being unreasonable, you fight with that person, you say something which you are not supposed to say, and thereafter both of you stop talking with each other. It may be your friend. Now, you don't talk to each other for a few days and then it becomes few weeks, few months. Sometimes I know people who carry it on for many years also. Now, as the time progresses, you become used to not talking with that person. You become very acclimatized, very comfortable. So now, if you are told, see, it was anyway your mistake only, so why don't you go and break the ice? Why don't you start talking again? If required, you can even apologize and start talking. He's after all your friend. All this you know intellectually. He's my friend only, I made this mistake. All this you know. But to break that ice, to put that effort, you don't feel comfortable about it. You feel very uncomfortable to start talking. Why? Because you got so used to not talking. It's a habit which has been created with respect to that person. So in life, we just pick up things mechanically. We develop a habit of repeating that, and over a period of time we get so used to that, we get acclimatized to that, and we create our comfort zones. When it comes to these gross examples, it's very easy to understand, but now it's time for you to apply this at further deeper levels of your personality, which is your emotions. So you're very used to feeling in a particular way, thinking in a particular way, let's say negative way. Some people, they go on complaining, they talk negatively about everything. They will say the whole world is negative. Now, if you go and tell that person, listen, why don't you generate positive thoughts? Why don't you think positively? Now that person will feel very uncomfortable because of the long-standing habit which he or she has built, which is negative thinking, negative emotions, and talking also negatively. So then what they'll do is they'll bring in some philosophy to support or justify their position. They will say, no, be realistic. I'm being realistic only. This is what is happening. If you carefully observe the psychology, it is nothing but justification only. Because there is good, there is bad, everything is there. It's all how you take it, how you interpret it, what you are relating to. They will never get into the core of the matter which will create a change in them. They will, when you are comfortable, that is when you are stuck within your comfort zone, you will not want to change for the better. So it will be very wise to identify your comfort zone, because unless you identify your comfort zone, you will not be able to bring a willingness to release all those factors which are pulling you down, and you will not bring that intention to change, to move up further. Unless you have the intention to change, your sadhana will not be so effective. You may externally do the sadhana, but are you effectively using it and getting the desired benefits? That depends upon your intention. See, for example, a person who is very lazy may do sadhana, but unless he brings that intention to release that laziness, he will not release it during sadhana. He'll just say, I feel very nice, I feel this, I feel that. Similarly, a person who is very angry, short-tempered, unless he brings a true intention to release that, he will not be able to release it while doing the sadhana on a daily basis. Same thing with other emotions, fear, jealousy. You take all the emotions. So you can divide the comfort zones into various aspects. At the physical level, what are my comfort zones? At the financial level, what are my comfort zones? You feel very comfortable with something and then you are stuck there. At the relationship level, what is my comfort zone? With respect to my emotions, what is my comfort zone? So when you identify all this, then only you can generate an intention. Okay, let me now release all these factors and start moving up. So that intention, that bhavana to let go is the key there. So when you don't have the bhavana to let go and change, then you will keep doing sadhana on one side. But you will never release all these factors. It is amazing, sometimes I find sadhaks who are sincere only, but they don't apply themselves in the way it has been explained to you now, as a result of which, even after many years of sadhana, they carry the same habits, same way of thinking, same emotions. Why? Because they are not aware of this simple principle of how comfortable they are with their thoughts, with their emotions, with their habits, and how they are not having the intention to let go of all that. Sometimes you may be doing sadhana for 10 years, 15 years also, or 20 years also. See, it's the number of years actually do not matter. The quality of the sadhana is the key. And the quality of your sadhana improves according to your bhavana, your intention. So, supposing you find a negative emotion, now don't resist it. Don't ignore it also, but at the same time don't fight with it. How do you, I'm only telling you the process of coming out of your comfort zone and progressing further. Supposing you using the dimensions of wood, you locate some emotion which you're having or some way of thinking which you have developed, which is not at all good for you. Now, how are you going to release that? But first bring that intention. Oh, this is not good for me. This has to be released. This is the bhavana, the intention. Then when you do your sadhana, aram se in a relaxed way you sit and play the yoga sankirtan and get into the relaxed mode, the deeper, it will automatically take you into the deeper states. And you just start doing deep breathing. So that intention which you put earlier, now that will bring out those factors which are pulling you down in that area. So when also that the various incidents associated with that, how you acquired that, the various thoughts, various emotions, everything will start coming out at a pace which you can handle. That's very important. So as they come to surface, don't fight with them, don't resist them, or don't encourage them also. Just simply with awareness keep doing the deep breathing, allow the Shakti to work, allow the higher energy to work. So when you are in a relaxed, observant mood, meditative mood, and when you keep doing the deep breathing, you are a witness to whatever is coming out. Now the Shakti will just flow. The energy, higher energy, healing energy will flow. The Guru Shakti will flow. The higher Shakti will flow. And it will just release all those negative factors. I'm giving you these practical tips because these tips are not written down in any books. This is where a guru comes in. See, I told you a few sessions back also, no? A guru is not one who is going to just simply tell you whatever is there in the books. For that, you don't require a person, no? You might as well read it from the books only. Where does a guru come in? One is to understand the deeper principles. The other is to help you practically apply these principles. That is where the difficulty comes. So if you just merely read some books on swimming and then you go and try swimming, you will drown only. Where does that coach come in? To practically help you master that. There is a big difference between learning theory and practically doing it. So in theory you may understand all this. I need to come out of the comfort zone. Wood means to benefit, power, upliftment, all that you may understand. But are you personalizing it? Are you relating it to your life? Or are you understanding them as mere external concepts? That is the key. So if you are in the process of personalizing it, absorbing it, then these tips will be extremely useful to you. Because though I noticed many of you had put down your points and some of you had expressed the difficulty also you're facing in practicing these things. These are the tips which will help you to overcome those difficulties. So initially it will be hard, but you put that extra effort and do it. After a while, it will become easy. That is the transition. From samudbhavaha, it will become bhavati. So it's a beautiful principle which he is giving here. See, I first explained these principles individually and now I am connecting them for you and telling you how you can practice. So now what you need to do is go and practice these things. That part now I cannot do for you. It's like, cooking the food has been done for you. Serving it on your plate also has been done for you. And sometimes the food is taken and put in your mouth. Even that is being done for you. But chewing, eating, that part only you need to do. How to chew, how to eat, all that also is explained. More than this, nothing can be done. There's a lot of spoon feeding only, but that is required in today's context, because the sadhaks in the good old days, during the Upanishadic days and all that, their capacity was very high. So as the Yuga Parivartana took place, the Kali Yuga set in, that capacity has come down. That's why more spoon feeding, more help is being given. So, the first step was Yajnaha Karma Samudbhavaha. From there is the sacrifice arises out of action. We have seen that. Now, the second step is Yajnat Bhavati Parjanyaha. From sacrifice arises rain. So, I have already explained to you the significance of that word Bhavati. In this whole thing, you just have to keep noticing one thing, that is the flow of cause and effect. So, karma is the cause. Okay, we'll even go a little back prior to that. Coming out of your comfort zone is the cause, karma is the effect. Then karma itself becomes a cause, yajna is the effect. Then yajna becomes the cause. Now he says parjanyaha is the effect. What is parjanyaha? We'll see now. So everything is a cause of something in the future. It is also an effect of something from the past. So your present is an effect of the past, and it is also a seed or cause for the future. This is why the yogis said, don't worry about the past or future, just focus on the present. When you focus on the present, you can neutralize the past. You can also sow the seeds for a bright future. So, a person who focuses on the present gets the powers, the higher powers to neutralize the past and create the future as he or she wants. So, what is the future effect? It is nothing but the continuation of the past modified in the present. That becomes a future. So whatever be your past, it doesn't matter. Now start putting in your efforts. Understand that today you are an effect, you are a product of the past. But at the same time, you are also the cause for the future. So whenever we talk of life being an effect of the past, they used the word prarabdha, destiny. But the same yogis, whenever they were talking about life as the cause for the future effect, they called it purushartha, self-effort. Many people don't understand this. I'm talking of even those who have been deep in spirituality. They take sides. They either say everything is predestined. Of course, some people have very funny beliefs. They think some higher force, God is only arranging for the destiny and all that. No way, it is your karmas. You only create your destiny. But even there, they restrict the law of karma to destiny in terms of past and present alone. So they say, I believe in destiny. Where is the question of your personal beliefs? We have to see what the facts are, no? There are others who say there is nothing like destiny, past and all that. No God, no karma, just life is in your hands. Now these are two extreme views. Now what our yogis have given is a combination of these two, because that is what is a reality. Let us say your body is not at all flexible today. What is the reason? You have not done any yoga, any form of exercise in the past. So your body being not flexible is an effect of your past. But does that mean that you cannot do any yoga today? From whatever be your capacity, you can start off. That is a self-effort. So if you start doing it now, over a period of time, you will create a future where your body will become flexible. So right now, you have these two forces running within you, running in your life also. That is, one is the past effect, which we call as prarabdha, destiny, coming from the past. That is your way of thinking, your emotions, your habits, the way you're speaking, the way you're behaving, everything is coming from the past, prarabdha. But there is also another force which is running parallelly, that is called purushartha, self-effort. That capacity which you have to act, to put an effort irrespective of what the past is. When you keep consistently applying that force in a positive direction, soon you will create a very powerful destiny in the future. But by the time you reach that future, that will become your present, and whatever you call as present today will become your past. So this is the law of karma in totality. That is being beautifully indicated here as we move from one step to the other step. This is the cause, this is the effect. Then this effect becomes the cause for a future effect. Then that effect becomes a cause for something else. So it's just going on so beautifully here. With that, you can understand how the law of karma functions based on the cause and effect. So don't fall into these two extremes. Some people, they say nothing can be changed. Highly negative way of thinking, They also quote the scriptures only. Yes, because it is said in the scriptures. When they were talking about that portion between past and present, they are emphasizing on prarabdha. Some people say all this is useless, you can just change in 1 second. Now, that is also being very impractical. And they also quote the scriptures only. Why? Because that part is also given in the scriptures that you can change any situation, you can change yourself. When they were talking about present with regards to future, they emphasized on purushartha. So as a sadhak, you need to understand this wisdom in totality. Otherwise, you will become very pessimistic, or you will become impractical in the name of optimism. So the law of karma has two parts. It's based on basically cause and effect. When we are dealing with past causes creating the present effects, that is called the law of destiny. The past destiny, we can say. Similarly, when it deals with the present efforts which create future effects, now that is the law of self-effort. So when you combine the law of destiny and law of self-effort, you get the law of karma. So since this chapter itself is dealing with karma yoga, he is using that structure, especially in this verse. And as you absorb that energy, you will begin to understand what the law of karma is, how it is functioning in your life. So non-sadhak will be complaining about the past, the effects of the past. But if you are a true sadhak, you will understand it in a mature way, and then you will fix proper goals and start putting in the right efforts in the present direction. Then it will have to give the desired results. If you don't see, some people don't understand the law of karma at all. They just, when something negative happens in life, they say, why God is punishing me? I had so much of devotion towards God, but God has not given me. God neither gives nor takes. It is all the play of your karma only. Please understand this. So, having given in the first step he has given one cause and effect. Now in the second step he is giving another cause and effect, the continuation of that. What is he saying? Yajnat bhavati parjanyah. From sacrifice arises rain. We have translated parjanyah as rain, but it means much, much more. We will be seeing that. Actually, you will be amazed. You will be amazed at the genius of this construction. Now, the word parjanyah has so many dimensions. We will take up a few in this context, which should be more than enough for you to intensify your sadhana. Even though we have translated parjanyah as rain, what is the meaning of parjanyah? Parjanyah, first of all, means a cloud. Parjanyah also means a thunder cloud. Thunder cloud means that which causes thunder and also loaded with electricity, which means lightning also. So we can say parjanyah means cloud, parjanyah means thunder cloud, thunder, the emphasis is on thunder. Parjanyah means lightning, that is included in that, and parjanyah also means rain. Beyond rain, parjanyah also refers to several personalities. I will also cover that we will see later. But first, this construction you need to understand. See, what is interesting is, there is a separate word for cloud, there is a separate word for thunder, there is a separate word for lightning, there is a separate word for rain. But he has used the word parjanyah, which is a kind of a common word which encompasses all these dimensions. As I told you, beyond rain it refers to certain higher beings, certain personalities. The significance of that also we will see. We will just take up a few and see, because that will be very useful in your sadhana. They will act as yardsticks for you to measure, am I progressing properly in the path, and they will also give you that inspiration to progress further. So, parjanyah actually means a cloud which is charged with electricity. The word Parjanya itself means a thunder cloud, no? So, a cloud which is charged with electricity, that's a lightning which we are talking about, and which produces thunder and rain. All these things are just covered by this one word Parjanya. See, how to put it in a simple way in the translation is very difficult. That's why we took the end one rain and put it here, because that goes along with from rain, because the next step where he says is from rain arises food. So, it will be easy for a person to superficially understand the basic logic. Okay, this is producing rain, and from rain food arises. Something they will understand. But otherwise, the deeper significance cannot be obtained just by reading the translation. Extremely difficult. And each of these aspects, see, the most interesting part is starting from a cloud to thunder to lightning, there is being charged with electricity, then the thunder, which is the roaring sound, and the rain. Each of these aspects is so significant to our lives. So, first of all, we will take up the basic meaning, cloud. See, again, before getting into it, when we see the cause and effect, we say the cause creates the effect, then the effect becomes a cause for a further effect. That's how we see it. Now, here cloud is a cause, the lightning, thunder, they all become the effect, and that cause becomes the effect of rain. See, there is a chain, but all that is put in one word. This is what I have told you, no? It's a very beautiful construction, the word, because it aptly represents karma itself. Because I told you, karma means action, it also means what causes action. Right from the subtle seeds to the gross actions, one word karma can be used. Karma can be used even to mean emotions, the emotional karma, manasika karma. Karma can be used to mean speech, vachaka karma. So, this is the beauty of this construction. He has chosen one word to mean the cause effect chain itself. So, fundamentally, when you keep doing yajna, what he is saying is, from yajna arises parjanya. I will now use the word parjanya instead of rain, because we are going deeper into it. So, it is not right to just stick to rain. So, from yajna arises parjanya, which means yajna is the cause and parjanya is the effect. When a person keeps on practicing yajna, what will happen to him or her? What kind of personality transformation will happen? That person will become like a cloud. The advanced yogis, the great yogis, are always compared to a cloud. Why is that? In the previous verse, we saw the three approaches, the tamasic approach, rajasic approach, sattvic approach. Now, that wisdom will help you understand this word or this principle of parjanya better. So, that was based again on the principle of parasparam, give and take, right. So, when your accent is on taking, your tamasic. When your accent is on give and take like business, your rajasic. When your accent is on giving, but you are not neglecting to take, but your accent is on giving, then you become sattvic. Now, why should you put more access on giving rather than taking? Means because taking comes naturally. Right from birth, we are constantly taking. As soon as a baby is born, it starts inhaling. This is of course a very gross example, but you just observe yourself. Nobody needs to teach you to take. When you are hungry, you will eat. But when it comes to qualities like sharing, giving emotions to others, now that is where training is required. Taking emotions from others, you will naturally do. So, the whole spiritual training is to not completely stop off taking, but to master this art of giving by laying more emphasis on giving, so that that balance is restored in your life. Now, that is called yajna. When you balance the giving aspect and the taking aspect in terms of quality, it becomes yajna. It's not quantity. See, a rajasic person will say, I have given so much, so I will take this much. That is balancing in terms of, trying to balance in terms of quantity. Sattvic person balances in terms of quality, not mere quantity. The difference is, supposing let us say you want to balance in terms of quantity. So, you make a calculation, what all have my parents done for me? They have sent me to school education, this much amount they have spent, this much amount they have spent. Oh, so you total it. So, this much they have done for me. So, I will give a check to them to equal it. This is trying to balance it in terms of quantity. But what about the quality, the emotions which they gave you? When a parent takes care of his or her child, it is not mere quantity, there is a qualitative factor there. So, a sattvic person looks at that and balances the quality. So, a person may have done one thing for you, but you may be indebted to that person for the rest of your life. See, for example, why are we eternally indebted to these great masters, to these holy gurus? Just this one principle of coming out of your comfort zone can change your entire life. So, if you try to match it quantity wise, oh, I have learned one principle, so I will repay and give this much. It's not like that. If you see in terms of quality, it becomes almost impossible to repay, and that is why in that Pancha Mahayajnas which I explained to you, I said we are eternally grateful to the great masters, to the great yogis, because their giving is in terms of quality. So, a sattvic person balances the quality. Now, when you go on mastering that, which is the very process of yajna, what will happen is your personality will get transformed. You will become like a cloud. What does it mean by you will become like a cloud? We are going to see all the four aspects. One is the cloud, then the cloud which is charged with electricity, and then that which produces thunder and lightning and rain. So, all these five aspects we are going to see. That is actually, that defines the different personality changes which will happen to you when you start performing yajna. So the first aspect is, you take a cloud. We are talking about a rain cloud, okay, a cloud which produces rain. Now, why is a yogi compared to a cloud? Generally, when you give, you will give whatever you have. But a cloud has an amazing quality. It gives rain to us, but in the process of giving rain to us, it disappears. It gives itself away. So, a cloud is the highest, that is, it represents the highest principle of sacrifice, giving. You can't get a better example. A cloud gives itself away in the process of giving. So, it is the epitome of sacrifice, the epitome of yajna. Therefore, our yogis have chosen the Parjanya, the cloud, to represent a yogi. What an amazing comparison, first of all, See, in the various practices, they have given, the worship of cows, the worship of buffaloes. Like in Pongal, there is a festival where you worship the cows, you worship the buffaloes. Why? Have you ever thought about it? Why not other animals? It's always said that God is there in all the animals, and equally we love not only animals, plants, human, everyone. But these are just special practices which they have given to absorb certain principles. What is a principle? A cow, a buffalo, they are creatures which function in a very selfless way. What does a buffalo do? See, earlier it was an agricultural society predominantly, so buffalo keeps working throughout the day. Those days the tractors and all were not there. So it was the buffaloes which we used to plow the field. Whole day they keep working. And what do they take in return? Little bit of hay, whatever the food is. Similarly, the cow, the cow symbolizes the motherly affection. It gives milk, it gives so much to the person who's rearing it. So that principle of selflessness was respected. So during that festival, you are supposed to remind yourself, this is how this principle of yajna, I need to practice that. Like this, many practices were given. They are all nothing but reminders so that you become more strong in your sadhana. No point in just merely doing those practices mechanically without understanding the principle behind all this. So when it comes to the cloud, it is the highest principle of yajna. Sorry, when we come to the cloud, the highest principle of yajna. Because the cloud has this amazing quality of giving rain, and in the process of giving rain for the benefit of the world, it gives itself away. So a yogi is one who has mastered this yajna to such an extent, he becomes so selfless. So he gives himself away, as it were, when he gives. There is no ego. See, when a normal person gives, he maintains the ego of giving. I am giving. That is not there. Giving oneself away means the entire ego is destroyed. So a yogi is one who gives, and in the process of giving, he gives up his ego, his identity, his individuality completely. He becomes one with the totality, with the infinite. This is the highest form of karma yoga. When you serve without any ego, that is karma yoga. Ego means not merely superiority complex. Inferiority complex is also ego. Whenever the stress is on the limited I, it is ego. Some people take ego only to mean arrogance and superiority. No. If you are saying I am nothing, I have worked so much, but I have not got anything, that is also ego only. It is another form of ego. We can say a submissive form of ego. When you are arrogant also it is ego. When you are subservient also it is ego. Being in an egoless state means just being in the neutral state, neither arrogant nor subservient. So a yogi practices that and perfects that art of acting in the world, functioning in a selfless way. He serves everyone, but he never has the feeling that I am serving. He is very, very unassuming. See, a true spiritual master goes unnoticed because he is very unassuming. Those who make a big show of themselves, they create an artificial aura around them. They claim the positions of gurus and all that, and they use a lot of advertisement and marketing to market their, the status of a guru. Such people are not true yogis. A real yogi is one who is very unassuming, who has a very simple personality, very much approachable. You will never suspect that person as a yogi. It's over a period of time that you begin to feel that person's greatness. Krishna was one such perfect example. Of course, he was an avatar. But just imagine, Arjuna never suspected that Krishna was in any way spiritual. That is the simplicity of Krishna. He was like a cloud. So when his friend Sudama came to meet him, he had brought a handful of beaten rice, because Krishna loved that food. So when he brought it to Krishna, his friend Sudama was in poverty. So in a very shy way, because when he went to meet Krishna after a long time, he didn't even know how Krishna is going to react. But when Krishna saw him, he just jumped out of his seat. He was a prince, Krishna. But he just jumped out, and in joy he hugged him and said, "Oh Sudama," they were childhood friends. They studied together. Why you? Where are you? Such a long time you never came to meet me. And just like the olden days, he started joking with him and all that. Then he said, "Sudama, what have you brought for me? Haven't you brought anything for me?" And very in a shy way, he took the beaten rice and gave him. And in a very excited way, Krishna took it so happily. Before Sudama had started, his wife had told him, Your Krishna is your friend, go meet him, we are in such poverty, ask him for help, he'll definitely give you money, he'll give you a lot of wealth. What is this? You're not using your contacts and all this. But Sudama was also a very pure person. So when he came and when he met Krishna, he couldn't ask anything. He forgot to ask. You see, he was in such a dire strait. There was he was unable to get 3 meals a day. That was his condition. But when Krishna asked him, Sudama, what is it that you want? Sudama said, I want nothing. I'm so happy just seeing you. But Krishna, being a Maha Yogi, Yogeshwara, he knew what Sudama required. So he said, give me that beaten rice. He took that. And the incident is that when Krishna took the first, handful, he just took and put it in his mouth, the first morsel. What happened was, all the daridrata, the poverty disappeared for Sudama. And then when he took the second morsel, he became extremely wealthy. And then he took the third morsel also. At that time, Rukmini, who was Krishna's wife, she was an avatar of Lakshmi, goddess Lakshmi. She stopped Krishna. She said, that is enough. There is a deeper meaning for that. Because if he had taken the third one, now Krishna would have become poor. He was ready to embrace the energy of Daridrata, poverty, and he would have given away everything to Sudama, which means goddess Lakshmi, who represents the Sri Shakti, the abundance, would have to completely become a slave to Sudama. So Krishna was prepared to do that for his dear friend. That is what is Parjanya, cloud. Every yogi, every master functions like that. But then of course Rukmini came. That's where the Shakti, see, Rukmini represents Shakti. So Shakti has to be under control, So when the Shakti is perfectly under one's control, that will come and protect you. So she stopped Krishna because he, as an avatar, had come into this world to resurrect righteousness. So that was his main thing. Helping Sudama is fine, but if he gives himself away in that process, then his purpose will not be fulfilled. No, that's why she stopped him. And the beauty is, Sudama was not even aware of all that. When he went back only, suddenly during the way he remembered, my God, my wife asked me to ask Krishna for help. I forgot. What is she going to say? With a lot of anxiety, he went back home, but he found that his whole home was changed. He had become so wealthy. So that incident actually is nothing but a graphic explanation of this word Parjanya, cloud, the principle of Yajna. I've told you, the Vedas have, the Upanishads stirs messages. Bhagavad Gita itself is a further explanation of those Upanishads only. And the Puranas are the same principles given in the form of incidents. So you will have to read the entire incident and penetrate that and understand the principle, the moral or the principle. For that also you require the yogic approach. So I am not covering all the Puranas now in these sessions. That's going to be time consuming. So we are directly getting into the principles. And here and there, whatever is applicable, I am just taking and showing you, so that you develop the sense of yogic approach. So Parjanya first means a cloud. It represents selflessness. So when you keep on performing yajna, your personality will become very selfless. So as I've told you in the previous verse itself, selflessness doesn't mean you neglect yourself. No. You are also included in that. I have covered all that. So it becomes easy for you to understand here. We will see the application of Parjanyaha with respect to external situations also. That also we'll see. But first, with respect to your inner personality, it's an amazing construction which he has given. So, number one, a cloud, and then, which means selfless, a cloud which is charged with electricity, that is Parjanyaha, and that produces thunder and lightning and rain. So what is the meaning of all that? That we will see in the next session. So we will stop with this here. It's so inspiring. I want you to just reflect on these points which were given to you. So one is getting out of your comfort zone, getting into the state of karma. Then refining your actions, getting into the state of yajna. But perfection in yajna is represented by this word parjanyaha. So you should not just do the yajna once in a while. No, you should practice and perfect it till you become like a cloud. Which is a cloud giving itself away means no ego. Egoless service. Serving everyone, but without that feeling that I am doing it. Being very unassuming. Every yogi is like that. A true master does the highest service to everyone. He radiates peace, he radiates positive energy. He keeps sending the healing energy to everyone, but he does it in a very unassuming way. You will not even suspect that he does anything. That is the Parjanyaha. So inspiring, no? So you should aspire to reach the level of Parjanyaha. Then only you can move to the infinite. See, when you become like a cloud, which means when you get into the state of egoless serving, that is a very powerful state. It is one step before the state of godliness. You become fully prepared. The divine nature in you starts getting awakened, and then you can easily merge with the infinite. That also he will be covering in the next verse. The state of Brahman, merging with the infinite. We will see that when we come there. We will go step by step. Okay, so we will stop with that. Before we do the Nididhyasana meditation, I will take up one question. This is regarding the 22-day course which we are going to have in December. I think all of you would have got the details. It's available in the website, and even you would have got messages, the links to that. Now, many people have asked about, not asked, actually one or two have asked, but many people have appreciated the artwork, the picture which was given for this course. That is Sambandha Divya Vignan, the divine science of relationships. So if you see in the website, that picture is there, where a girl's face from sideways, and the heart symbol is there, and some kind of lines have been drawn. So what is interesting is many people have sent messages saying that when they saw that, it had a very peaceful effect on them. So one or two sadhaks have asked whether there is any special meaning why this was chosen. So I will explain that also. See, when we talk of unconditional love, the emotional warmth, see, this course is about the divine science of relationships, emotional mastery, achieving emotional mastery, emotional strength, and enriching all kinds of relationships between husband and wife, between partners, between parents and children, any kind of relationships in your office, official relationships, whatever be the kind of relationship, this course is going to enrich that. It's going to make you very strong emotionally. So one of the key things when it comes to relationships is emotional mastery, that warmth of unconditional love. Now, in our culture, we have always taken women to be the symbol of unconditional love. So that is why this design is very significant. The moment we talk of that warmth, we always think of the mother, motherly love, we say, even when Shakti is invoked, oh goddess, oh my mother, that's how we say. So it's not that a father doesn't have love. Don't ask me such questions. So are you meaning to say that a father does not have love? Are you saying men do not have? It's not like that. Generally, whenever we talk of that warmth, see, as when a baby is born, it first gets that identification, affection from the mother only. So we naturally relate the female energy, the Shakti, to unconditional love. So that is why this picture is a girl, and the love symbol, the heart symbol has also been put. So the whole course is to expand your heart, expand your love, make it unconditional. This course is designed, see, very, very powerful meditations and empowerments are going to be given, and many meditations are going to be taught so that your emotions get purified. The unconditional energy, the unconditional love energy which you have will start manifesting very powerfully. And when that starts manifesting very powerfully, your relationships will become very divine. They'll take a different turn altogether. So that is what is represented. The girl is there, the love symbol is there, and then those lines which are coming out in front and back, that is the unconditional love vibrations which will spread everywhere. So this is very symbolic. I am so happy that almost all the sadhaks have noted. Many of you have had a nice experience just by seeing that, because even that girl's picture there, her eyes are closed and she is in total peace. It's a very powerful state of emotional mastery, having emotions but not being emotional, not having any emotional weakness. That is what is symbolized in that picture. Why I am explaining, why I have taken up this question very seriously is, with that in view, with this in mind, just look at the picture after the session. Just casually just look at it. It will inspire you so much. And that itself will start the preparation. As you become more inspired by that, you will start getting more prepared for the 22-day blast of energy. Okay, other sadhaks have asked some other questions also. I will take up all those questions. We still have some time, so I will answer those questions also. Okay, so now we will do the Nididhyasana meditation. Gently close your eyes. Do deep breathing. With every breath, I am getting into a state of deep relaxation. Feel the divine vibrations. With every breath, I am going deeper and deeper into myself. Beyond my body, beyond my emotions, beyond my thoughts, lies my essential self. my higher self is infinite and divine. From this moment onwards, I choose to put in tremendous efforts to refine all my karma into yajna. I choose to put in consistent efforts towards performing yajna karma till my entire personality becomes selfless, like a cloud, a state of egoless serving. I am Swayam Prakashit, self-illuminating. Offer your gratitude to God Supreme. offer your gratitude to your Guru and all the holy masters. Wriggle your fingers, your toes, open and close your palms a few times. Rub your palms together to create a warmth. And cup your eyes with your palms. Gently rub your eyes, your cheeks, forehead, the top of your head, the back of your head, your neck, and slowly open your eyes. Welcome back. So we had a very powerful and inspiring session today. This principle of Parjanyaha as a cloud really inspires the mind. Just to think of the great selfless masters, the Guru Mandala. Without whom we will not be having this session at all, If you take away their contribution, this is not possible. And they are continuing to guide eternally. That inspires so much. Actually, if you just get connected to the energy of these great masters, you become so meditative. Just reflecting on this principle of Parjanyaha as cloud, that itself purifies you so much. Okay? So regarding the 22-day program, the empowerment course, as I told you, the moment you register and commit, from that moment the preparatory healing energy will start reaching you. Every day special energy is being sent to those people who have committed. that itself will start giving you a lot of benefits. Purification. So be consistent in your daily sadhana. I'm repeating this every week. It's worth it, because when you do your part and then you receive the preparatory energy, you will find that a lot of purification will happen. The intensity of your sadhana will also be more. And every Sunday, in the Nididhyasana meditation also, I am preparing you for the 22-day empowerment course. Okay, so we'll continue with this verse in the next session. Thank you very much. Hari Om.